Today we are gonna we're going deep into something a little different.
Oh, yeah.
You guys sent us this story from a horror podcast,
Okay.
and it is about a doll. So
Mhm.
we thought, all right, let's take a look at this and see what makes this story tick.
Yeah.
What makes it so scary?
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, like a doll,
Yeah,
it's like one of the most basic childhood toys, right? But somehow it can become
yeah,
like this vessel for
yeah,
like pure terror.
absolutely, and that's kind of what the story plays on. So
Okay.
let's get right into it. So it starts with this like dare, right?
Yeah.
There's this girl Aisha. She's 16,
Mhm.
and she lives near this like really creepy mansion.
Right.
And her friends are like, "Hey, Aisha, I dare you to go into that mansion at night and bring back like
Oh,
something
yeah. Classic.
classic teenager stuff." And
It's such a good hook, though.
yeah,
Like, it just draws you right in.
yeah,
There's going to be some risk,
yeah,
some anticipation. And the way they describe the mansion, like with the wind whistling through it
oh yeah,
and that like rotten smell,
yeah,
it just like creates this mood of unease right from the start.
totally. I mean, even before anything supernatural happens,
Still
they were
shock.
already like, "Oh, this is not going to be good."
Yeah.
And then inside, she starts seeing these like old paintings,
Oh, yeah.
and the people in the paintings,
Mm-hmm.
they look like they're staring right at her.
Yeah.
What is it about that is just so creepy?
It's like it's messing with our sense of reality, right? Because paintings are supposed to be still.
Yeah.
But when you feel like you're being watched,
Yeah.
it triggers this primal instinct in our brains, like we are in danger.
Right.
So even though it's not possible,
Yeah.
it just feels
Yeah.
super unsettling.
It's like violating the rules somehow.
Yeah.
And so Aisha, she keeps going deeper into the mansion, and that's where she finds the doll,
Yeah.
right? Like it's part of the dare.
Okay.
It's this little old doll. It's all yellowed and torn, but its eyes, they seem to be like alive.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Right. Like that is where things start to really shift.
Yeah, the eyes are like the window to the soul, right? So when you
Mhm.
see that in a doll, it's
Yeah.
like crossing a line. It's like something that's not alive.
Yeah.
Suddenly, sentient.
Yeah. It's like that uncanny valley thing, right?
Exactly.
And of course, what does? She touches the doll.
Oh, no.
I know, right? Big mistake. And immediately, like, everything changes.
What happened?
There's this huge gust of cold wind.
Oh.
The doors slam shut, and a voice says, "You shouldn't have come here."
Whoa.
And to make it even worse, the doll's eyes, they start glowing.
No way.
Yeah, and its mouth opens slowly, like it's about to speak.
I mean, talk about a jump scare.
Right. Like sensory overload.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
hitting you on all levels with the sound and the cold and then that voice.
Yeah, you don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
It's like pure panic. So Aisha, she gets out of there.
Okay.
But as you can guess, it doesn't stop there.
It never does.
Right. You can't just escape this stuff by leaving the haunted place.
Because the scary thing is now the haunted thing
Yeah.
is in your house.
Exactly. Your safe space is gone.
Yeah.
And so Aisha, she starts feeling like someone is near her at night.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, it's like the most basic fear, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not alone in the dark. And then one night, it gets even worse.
Ah.
She wakes up and the doll is sitting in the corner of her room.
Oh, my God.
It's like, how did it get there?
Right. It's like it can move on its own.
Exactly. And that means that there's
Yeah.
something behind it. Like it's not just a doll.
There's an intelligence there.
Yeah, a will or something. And then it just keeps escalating.
Like what?
She starts having these nightmares.
Yeah.
And in the nightmares, there's this little girl who keeps saying, "My place should have been your place."
So creepy.
It's like this possessive thing, right?
Yeah.
And like things in her house start moving.
No way.
Yeah, and she looks in the mirror
Okay.
and it's not her reflection anymore.
Oh, God, that's terrifying.
It's like it's messing with her.
It's like psychological torture.
Totally.
Yeah.
So at this point, Aisha's like, I got to figure out what's going on.
Right.
So she starts researching the mansion. And that's when she finds out this really sad story.
What is it?
So apparently a long time ago, this wealthy king lived in the mansion.
Okay.
And he had this daughter who he loved very much.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the daughter had a doll.
Of course.
And the daughter, she died in an accident.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And the local legend is that her spirit,
Yeah.
it got trapped in the doll.
So it's like Aisha's stumbled into this whole
Yeah.
like pre-existing tragedy.
It all connects.
Yeah, and it makes it so much creepier because
Yeah.
now it's not just some random haunting.
Right.
It's like this specific story
Yeah.
with real emotions behind it.
It's like Aisha's taken the place of that little girl somehow.
Ooh,
And now she's experiencing all of that. The
Yeah.
sorrow, the anger, the, whatever is attached to that spirit.
Yeah, like she's been pulled into this other person's life.
It's heavy stuff, right? So Aisha, she's desperate, so she goes to see this Tantric Baba.
What's a Tantric Baba?
So a Tantric Baba is like a spiritual leader,
Okay,
and people go to them for help with like supernatural stuff.
got it.
And the Baba, he tells Aisha, don't burn the doll.
What?
I know, right? It seems like that's what you would do.
Yeah, like in the movies.
Exactly.
Mm.
But the Baba says if you burn the doll,
Yeah.
it'll just make the spirit angrier.
Oh, wow. So it's
It's
like,
more complicated than that.
yeah, like you can't just destroy it. It's
Yeah.
not that simple.
And the Baba, he gives her a solution.
Okay, what is it?
He says, you have to take the doll back to the mansion
Okay.
and put it in the exact spot where the little girl died.
Oh, so specific.
Right. Like it has to be that spot.
It's like the spirit's tied to that place.
Yeah, like that's where the energy's focused or something. So Aisha, she's super scared,
I bet.
but she knows she has to do it. So she gets her friends together.
Brave of them.
Right. And they go back to the mansion and they find the spot.
Yeah.
And Aisha, she puts the doll down.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's this blood-curdling scream.
Oh, God.
Temperature like plummets. It feels like everything in the air is moving.
Oh,
And then silence.
dead silence.
Yeah, like everything just stops.
It's like all the energy just...
Released or something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the story ends.
Really?
Well, it says that the spirit is gone.
Okay.
But it also says that like if anyone goes back to that spot in the mansion,
Yeah.
the doll might find someone else
Oh, no.
to haunt.
Like it's waiting.
Yeah, like the curse is still there.
That's so creepy.
It's a classic horror ending.
Yeah, it leaves you thinking about it.
So just to wrap things up,
Okay.
we've been talking about this story of this girl, Aisha, who got dared to go into this creepy mansion.
Yeah.
And she finds this doll. And it turns out the doll is haunted by the ghost of this little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Aisha kind of gets pulled into this whole other world.
Yeah, like she becomes part of the story.
Exactly. And in the end, she has to return the doll to this specific spot in the mansion.
Right, to break the curse.
Yeah, it's like a classic ghost story, but with a twist.
And it uses these like really simple elements, right?
Yeah.
Like a creepy old house, a haunted doll, but it connects it to this like real human tragedy.
Oh, boy.
And the way it's told, like slowly revealing the backstory,
Yeah,
it just keeps you hooked.
it's a good story. And that kind of brings us to our final thought for you.
Okay.
Think about why we love these kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe in ghosts or curses.
Yeah.
What is it about these objects, these places that make us feel so uneasy?
Right, like why are we so drawn to them?
Yeah. And could it be that we're creating our own hauntings?
Oh, interesting.
Just with our own minds and beliefs?
It makes you think.
It does.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
This was a good one.
It was. Until next time, stay curious. And try not to touch any creepy dolls.
Yeah, good advice.